All right, y'all, we're back to talk about Love is Blind, episodes 5 and 6. Okay, so let us get into it. So, on the last episode, we saw where Miss Annie decided that she was gonna like rock out with Nick, right? But Brandon goes to her for like a last attempt, right? To try and plead with her to choose him. But she still ends up going with Nick at the end of the day. She's upset because Nick chose her and he didn't even fight. He, as in Brandon, didn't even fight for her. And I'm like, girl, if only you knew that you was his second option. But I feel like you knew that you was his second option at the end of the day. I think that she knew that. And then it's like you wanted him to fight for you. How? Like, I don't know. I'm like, he's there now fighting for your ass. Okay. He was trying to respect your wishes the day before. Now he's there fighting for you now, and you're still willing to go with somebody else that just told someone else that he loved them. But maybe you didn't know about the love part, but still, you were the second option. And then y'all just got to that place. So I don't know. It was just weird. Then she tried to play it in Brandon's face, telling him that, oh, at once upon a time, I think it was the other day, oh, we haven't really had serious conversations. I'm like, are you sure? Because I feel like you and Nick are the ones that haven't had serious conversations, right? Like, you're so sold on Nick because, in my opinion, she had already told him that she loved him and she didn't want to renege or go back on what it is that she said. So she felt like she was obligated to move forward with him because she sat up there and told that man, I love you back, right? I just feel like for Brandon, just let her go. She'll regret this for sure, 1000%. So just let her go on about her business, honey. Now, Mike and Megan, she says that she wants someone who is sure of her. He's telling her that he's sure of her, all of that, but she don't seem to be buying it. Why? Because she's really stuck on Jordan. Why is she stuck on Jordan? I don't know. But it's something about, I mean, from what we saw in the pods, for me, it just was nothing that was really that damn entertaining about him. Like, I feel like most of the time when Jordan was in the pods with her, he talked about his damn son for most of the time. So you're bonding with the fact that you get to hurry up and be a stepmama to somebody's child. Like, I don't know. But anywho, speaking of Jordan, Megan ends up linking up with Jordan and she ends up slipping up telling him that she loves him or whatever. And I'm like, okay, so everybody is just pretty much going to go against what's best for them, it seems. Okay. All right, cool. Let's keep going. Nick and Annie. Nick proposes to Annie. She says, yes, I couldn't take it. He goes back into the damn pods, or at least to the room where the guys are, hollering, I'm engaged, da, 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 and then gonna talk about someone. He saw Brandon over there real sad. He gonna say, I didn't know he was in here. I didn't know he was in here. I feel like you did, but whatever, okay? So he's sitting at the table, right? Edmond is kind of like, dang, I feel so bad, yada, yada, yada. And then Brandon gets up and go and sit somewhere else. And, Nick is kind of like, well, dang, I didn't know he was in here. I want to go over there and have a talk to him. So once actually, Edmond told him that Brandon went in there to talk to Annie thinking that he still had a chance, only to learn that he didn't, right? So with that situation, of course, Nick wants to go over there and he wants to have that conversation with old buddy, but Brandon wasn't feeling it. Brandon was like, oh, not right now. Like, get away from me. I don't want to talk right now. Like, go ahead on, right? Now, Megan and Mike are chatting. Mike wrote Megan a letter. She read the letter, thought it was nice or whatever, but she says, I'm sorry, deep down in my gut, something is telling me that it's not you. All right. This isn't right. I shouldn't be with you. And I really want to honor that feeling in my gut. So many times I went against that. And this time I'm not going to do that. I'm going to listen to myself. So she decides to go with Jordan, and Jordan ends up proposing to her, and there we are, right? Then we get Patrick and Kacie. They ended up meeting each other. Nick and Annie end up meeting each other. Annie says that she's happy and she feels like she made the right decision and she loves him so much and doesn't think anything can happen to make her stop loving him. I'm like, the fact that the producers put that portion in made me think we have a lot to look forward to when it comes to Nick and Annie. It made me think, are you sure there's nothing that he could do to make you stop loving him? Are you sure? Okay, that's what she says. We shall see. Megan and Jordan, of course, meets. He couldn't wait to show her pictures of Luca. So he shows her that. She's excited about stepping into the role of being his mom. And I said, what the fuck? Where is Luca's mama at? And where is she? Because y'all out here operating like Luca just ain't got nobody. Like, did Luca mama leave him with you? Did she pass? Like, I'm just a little confused because she is so ready to step into the role of being a mama, looking at Luca's pictures. I'm saying, I love him. I don't know. I don't like it. But let's keep going. So Kacie ass is at the hotel looking pitiful. Pitiful. All right. I said, here we go with your bullshit. Here we go. So she says Patrick deserves someone that's better than her. I said, girl, he know that shit. He knew that. He knew he deserved somebody better than you. But he wanted to move forward in this process so damn bad, so he went with it. She says that she loves him and she was so happy with him, but she can't do this anymore and that she needs to go home. And I said, I guess. Because you seeing that you really can't fake it no more. You seeing just how real it is getting. So now you're ready to go to hell back home. Okay? And go be with that man that about put you up to coming on this show to begin with. And you know, like I said, whatever hurt Patrick ended up getting from this situation, my personal, he deserves it. This girl literally just sat up there and told you. Okay, she just sat up here and told you that this boy told her, go off and do this show. I'll be here for you. If you go off and do Love is Blind too, I'll be here for you. And then don't want to let the guy know that she engaged to you, even though being on a reality show is going to show the full truth. But she's like, I'll block him for you if you want. Like, that lady ain't for you. So she says that he's a really nice guy and he isn't bad looking, but he deserves someone that is obsessed with him. And I was kind of like, ain't nobody saying nothing about that. Like, why is you bringing up his looks? And then I said, well, wait a minute. Maybe production is asking her these questions and maybe that's why she wants to clear it up, right? Hold on. So he asked if she's trying to break up with him. And I think she kind of said, yeah, or something like that. I can't remember if she was crying or what she said, but basically she was like, I can't do this show anymore. Okay. I said, hurry up and send her home. All this performative crying all over the place and all this other stuff, like send. And then it's like, what kind of Asian guy did you think he was going to look like? I don't know. I mean, Patrick doesn't look bad. I don't know what she was expecting, looking for. I really think that in my personal, she primarily dates white guys. And I feel like he was her only hope of getting her to the next stage of this show. So she was willing to take him up on it. And likely realizing just how kind-hearted and sweet she is, she probably started to feel guilty just a bit. So he says he still feels good about her. I said, Patrick, baby, go to sleep. Go to bed, baby. He thinks that she's being genuine. I said, you do? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you about dumb as me. I'm not even there to feel the emotion she feels. I'm watching this stuff play out on TV, and I guarantee you she's not being genuine. Just because she's crying, you believe that she's being genuine? Okay. So he asked, is that what she told you guys earlier, that she just needed to go home? Flashback to 45 minutes earlier. She told production that she didn't see herself being attracted to him. She didn't see the attraction growing. She said it was unfair to him to go all the way to Mexico knowing that it won't go any further. Okay. So yeah, when she was bringing up his looks, it wasn't just production asking her that. If they did, they asked because that's what she said. She said it was the looks. I think production even asked him if he thought it was the looks. And he was like, no, I don't think it was the looks. I think that she was being genuine. Like, we're both obviously mutually attracted to each other. No, y'all not. And it's so crazy for her to sit up there and not be attracted to you, but sit up there and continue to grip the very face that she's not attracted to and cry her eyes out. Baby, I said, I can't. I can't. That's crazy. But I had already clocked up. Pat cuts up very much so, was giving fake, and it is what it is, right? So then Edmond done bought we're in Mexico now. Edmond is so happy to be with Calibria. Calibria. I'm gonna say Callie, y'all, because I really don't want to mess this lady's name up. So Edmond is down there, ready to be with Callie. He done bought her some shoes. They got matching shirts and stuff. So he is just super ready. I'm not going to say that Edmond does not deserve love, but I do not see Callie being that person for him. Okay. Now, I don't know. Callie might help him emotionally to be a tougher person. I don't know the reasonings, but I don't see them walking down the aisle at all saying yes to each other. All right. Anton and Allie, they're talking, they're chatting. I think that they were talking about a vacation, and he said something about how, I spent 5,000 on that ring. So, I can't do any vacations right now. And then she mentioned something about spending 10,000, and she thinks 10,000 is a reasonable number. That stuck out to me because I said, ooh, Miss Mama's is expensive. And Anton, I don't think that you're going to be able to afford her expensive ways. I think that is going to become a problem at some point. In addition, why the hell is her ring on the right finger when it should be on the left finger? That was interesting, or at least on the right hand when it should have been on the left hand. Don't know. That's what they got going on. He just rocking out with it. I said, yeah, these people they're not getting married either. Joe and Madison, so she talks about not being able to see in low light, right? And how she has these motion sensors all over her home and stuff. And of course, he's still gonna be there to support her and stuff like that. Glad that she's opening up and letting him know. However, he does let people know that he was a bit more reserved when it came to her because I'm not gonna say reserved, but still a bit taken aback because he's used to thinner women, right? But he is open to the attraction for her growing because it's not like she's bigger than, like super big or anything. But I think Madison's super cute, but the beauty is in his eyes. It's up to him to make that decision. So, um, he also lets her know about the struggle that he had with connecting with her in the beginning when they first met because he still was trying to match up her voice to her actual body and her look and stuff. So he's still trying to like process all of that. Okay, like I don't know what Joe got going on, but Joe is going to end up showing his arse. All right, but let's keep going. So we get to Callie and Edmond, and she sees things as a relationship or whatever. So they're talking about that. She says when it comes to a relationship, she likes to outdo the partner or whatever when it comes to gift giving, right? She sees things, I'm sorry, not as a relationship, but more so as competitiveness in a relationship, right? When it comes to gift giving, right? She says that she likes to reciprocate and she likes to spoil her man. She believes he has she believes at this time, because Edmund ended up getting her the shoes and because he got like the design shirts together or whatever, she feels like he got her beat right now. So Edmund says that he is respectful of her independence and things, and she says she's tired of being Miss Independent, she's sick of it, so he's gonna have to step up in some way. She also talks about wanting to be protected by him, and she gives him a scenario of them being in the club, and if they were in the club and a bigger guy came in and like grabs her up or whatever like that, trying to talk to her, how would he handle it? He said, I wouldn't feed into it. And she says, but like, let me know more, because like he's in my face, he got my arm, whatever the case is. And I feel like in this moment, she wants to see how he's going to handle conflict, in addition to, like she said, if he's going to make her feel protected. And Edmund says he isn't going to have a confrontation with that guy. Like, I'm not going to be up here. I'm not going to do that. So she says she will have an issue with him. Like, if that's how you're going to move, then guess what? I'm going to have an issue with you. Okay. I just want to let you know that. And he says, well, I guess I'll just have to be a pussy or whatever it is you want to call it on that day, because I ain't trying to have no problems with nobody. Now, I understood both sides just a little bit. Like, yeah, she wants somebody that is going to defend her down, right? And tell the man, like, hey man, don't grab on her like that. Like, she good. You see her with me. Okay. I get that, but then I also kind of see why he's like, well, shoot, I'm just a scrawny little dude. I don't want nobody to fold me the hell up. I want to make it home at night, right? But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm more so on her side a bit more. Like, you don't have to rub somebody up to just be like, hey, chill, like she good, she straight. You know what I'm saying? And I also feel like he will react differently. That's my opinion, not a fact. If they were in a real life situation and his feelings for her were much stronger than what they are, maybe he would react differently than what he thinks he would react. But I don't know. But it was pissing her off, and I couldn't fault her. Okay, so she asked, "What if the guy's your size? Take the bigness out of it. What if he your size?" And it was kind of like, you're changing the answer to get. You're changing the question to get the answer that you wanted. He's still telling you what it is. He ain't finna do shit. He already told you that. So then he follows up right with what I was already thinking. It said the man could be in a wheelchair. At the end of the day, he said, I'm not finna go over there and place my hands on no man. Period. That's what he says. So I don't know. Now he says whoever the man is, he says they ain't even on my level. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be the best. And she's like, okay, so who you compare yourself to? He said every man. I'm like, how do we get to this conversation? Okay. So anywho, she says that comparison is the thief of joy, and she wants him to be better than the man he was yesterday, or at least that should be his focus, right? So he says that he wants to know from her though that she is the best, and she just like, oh, okay then, well. I want you to protect me, but you want me to tell you that you're the best. I guess we both losing in this war. Girl, I said, this is a mess here. She better not walk down the aisle talking about some yes. Okay, that's crazy. Now, Madison talks with Joe about not always feeling like she's enough, right? And she talks about how she felt kind of sick that night or whatever the case. And he's trying to reassure her that, he does like her. Like, of course, his preference was smaller women, but he's been enjoying and connecting with her. Now it's time for the couples to meet with everybody, right? Everybody's coming out, they meeting and stuff, and then eventually they split off. The girls go one way, the guys go the other. And of course, Callie says that she's nervous, you know what I'm saying? Because she knows that Edmond loves her, right? He loves her a lot. And she's like, I ain't even get him the cootie toy yet. I ain't even put that thing on him. So if he loving me like this, I don't know what he gonna do when I put that thing on him. You know what I'm saying? And they both, or at least not, they both agree, but she's not interested in doing that with him until the wedding night. And I feel like she's saying that because she's not gonna do anything wedding night, because there ain't gonna be no wedding for real. Okay, they're not gonna make it away tonight because her answer is going to be no. I do not believe that she is completely attracted to him in my personal. I don't think so. I don't see this going anywhere. So Megan says Jordan was the best sex she's ever had because he knows what he doing. I said, oh, okay then. That's a shocker. All right. Well, Madison says the sex with Joe was also amazing, according to her. Now, Allie admits that she couldn't wait any longer. She was trying to hold out when it comes to the sex with old boy Anton, but she couldn't, and they got it in, right? But she does talk about how her mama would be so obsessed with him. And I'm like, okay, I hope you're more obsessed than your mom. All right. Now, Edmond lets the guys know that he hasn't had sex yet. Everybody else pretty much had sex, but Anton didn't really go in and tell him that he's had sex yet, right? Edmond did let them know that, she wants to wait until marriage. And then at some point he says that he gonna have to hit it before marriage. And I feel like he's saying that because he's seeing how all the other guys have been having sex, right? So the guys say that, it's like 4 weeks. Like you should be able to at least go 4 weeks without it, right? We shall see. Right. And then so he's asking Edmond is asking Anton, like, bro, like, come on now, like, does that make sense or whatever? Like, come on, everybody's getting it in. We not, like, what you think? And he's just like, yo, it depends on the woman. It depends on the connection, I've gone weeks without it myself. So I mean, it's just a few factors that play a role in it, right? Meanwhile, Edmond says that if he doesn't hit before marriage, he gonna start questioning things. Nah, I mean, what? Yeah, he is. That's because once again, you do compare your situation to everybody else. You're the eyeball out, right? You want to feel included. And you're starting to question things. So Edmond starts rubbing Callie's feet. I want them off the show. Cause this is just it's like cringing. I can't. So he started rubbing her feet. And they were so wrong for this audio. Let me lick you up and down until you say stop. Let me play with your body, baby. I said I can't. I'm done. Cut it off. He over there licking her feet, licking the sunscreen, and I'm just like, this does not turn her on. So then you got everybody around him that's pretty much cringing. And then you have Madison that's like, oh my God. Da, 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 da. So he tells her, go find Joe. Pretty much, if you don't like it, get up and go find Joe. And of course, you got Callie like, don't be mean. Don't be mean to her or whatever like that. He says, I'm playing. No, you not. And you're unhinged. So Edmond tells Annie about how he felt about her turning Brandon down and how it made him feel. And he was crying and how Brandon was feeling and everything. And, Callie's like, well, don't trigger her. He was like, I ain't trying to trigger her. I'm just trying to be honest. And so Annie is just like, well, he came at the last minute and it was a little too late. He came to profess his love and everything, but it was too late because, Nick made me feel this and make me feel that. And I'm just like, girl, shut the hell up. Nick came to you as a last minute. Anywho, she deserves it too. Whatever y'all get, y'all get. So Edmond changed his tone and says that she made the right decision because Nick is a big dog. I said, Edmund, you such a flip flopper. Like, I don't know what be going on in your head, but you need some calm, okay? Now, Joe asks Madison if she likes Jordan, right? So Madison leaves from where they are. She goes over there by Joe. Joe is talking to Jordan. He's like, "Oh, you like this guy?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's cool, of course. Whatever, da da da." Jordan said, "Well, I don't like you." And she's like, "Okay." So you could tell that was awkward. She felt embarrassed. After that, you got Joe over there continuing to entertain Jordan, laughing, all of that, acting like Madison's not there. So she pretty much just walks off. She was embarrassed. I kind of felt a little bad for her. Like, and I feel more bad for her after the fact. But in the moment, I was like, well, maybe he's just having a lot of fun with his friends and stuff like that with the guys or something. Like, maybe it wasn't that bad. But now I'm thinking something else was going on. So Joe and Jordan seems to be making everyone uncomfortable, right, with their bromance. And Megan even had to tell Jordan that he was getting on her damn nerves. Like, you annoying me. Right now, Megan, she did look cute. I'm gonna give her that. Megan, I wanted to highlight Megan looked cute because remember in the pods for me, Megan said she's 33, but she looked much older, right? But when she was outside with everybody else and stuff, I was like, okay, she looks younger, she looks cute, whatever. Anywho, Joe is acting really weird around Madison, right? And I'm like, bro, are you drunk? I'm like, okay, maybe he's drunk, okay? Because all of this energy and laughing and hee-heeing and doing this extra stuff with Jordan and all that. I'm like, okay, so maybe they just had a bit too much to drink, right? Let's keep going. So Madison, right? She doesn't, well, at least I didn't like Madison nor me liked how this guy was over here acting, okay? Especially after seeing all the ladies and stuff. I feel like he also was possibly regretting his decision. After seeing how nice some of the ladies look and how some of the guys may have gotten a slimmer girl or whatever the case is, I think that was also in his head amongst other things. So talks with her or whatever, decides that he's gonna go inside, and she's like, "Do you want me to come with you?" And he was like, "If you want to." And she was like, "Okay, but what do you need? Do you need?" He was like, "You can stay out here and just hang out." Like, it was real confusing. It was like he wanted her to come in, but he wanted it to be her decision to come in. It was like he wanted her to follow him or something. Not sure, but she was left confused and she just let him go on to the room while she continued to socialize outside, right? So that's that. Now Joe is acting like, in my personal, for me, Joe was acting like he was on drugs. Joe was acting like it was more than just drinking. She gets back to the room. He's laying down. She's trying to check on him. He's like, "Oh, you're just ready, huh?" Yada, yada, yada. It was like real weird. And I was like, "Oh, this guy. Like, you got something." Like, Joe done went and had something. Either Joe had it when he was outside or Joe was drunk outside, went into the room, had something else. Hello? And that had him out of order or something. I don't know, but she was completely freaked out, right? He asked her, at one point, they're going back and forth and stuff, and she's complaining about the fact that you don't remember anything, so you got me kind of scared, right? You told me you were going to come in here and lay down. I come in, you don't even remember what I had on earlier today, and you just asking questions like you just like don't know where you are. Did you ask me the same questions like, are you cool? So then he says, "Oh, you're coming in hot." And she says, "You know what, you right, I am coming in hot." So she's upset, so she storms off and goes where she's gonna go. Meanwhile, you got Callie and Edmond talking about Anton and Allie. They're pretty much assessing a lot of the marriages and who they think is going to likely say yes at the end and who may not, right? So not Anton, but Edmund decides to say that he believes that Allie, Anton really likes Allie because I guess Anton pretty much went up to Allie most of the time versus her having to always go up to him or whatever. Either way, the conversation about the couple segue into them talking about themselves, right? And whether they think that they're a stronger couple or the strongest couple based on what everybody else would think. And I'm just like, this is not a challenge. This is not Love Island games. Like, why are we really focused on who's the strongest couple versus who's not? Because y'all are probably the weakest couple as everybody looks around, right? So she says that she doesn't care about what other people think. He says, "Well, I do." And she says, "I don't care what they think because they ain't gonna do that, but have you beat up on yourself because you over here comparing yourself to everybody else." So then she asked him, "Does it bother you that everybody else has pretty much had sex and we the only couple that hasn't?" And so Edmund says, "It don't bother me, but," and he really want to tell her that it do bother him, but he's trying to honor and respect her at the same time. So she keep asking him, like, tell me what's on your mind. So he says, I'm giving you my all. I'm giving you my all. Okay. And he like, and you let men who you don't even know, you don't care about, fuck. Okay. I'm giving you all of me, man. I was like, what is happening here? Baby, she covered her face like this, laid back, and I laughed with her. I would have laughed at his fucking face too. Like, you literally sitting up here about to throw a damn fit like a toddler because you not getting no cootie like everybody else. Cut it out, right? And it was real weird because he went from being upset, like, and then he just like, and I'm like, bro, is we cool? Because he went from upset to laughing. And she says everyone else having sex is the real issue that's really bothering him because he the one that's not having it. And he's like, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, she's absolutely right. You just pretty much said it. Right? So he says he is more locked in emotionally. This is what he's saying. It's not just the sex. I just feel like I'm more locked in emotionally than you are with me, is what he tells her. And I said, he right. He right. He right. So then he starts crying, saying, I'm too fucking nice, man. I'm too nice, man. Man, I'm nice, man. That's my problem, man. It always happen to me like this, man. I'm always nice, man. You know, I always get the short end of the stick because I'm nice, man. Basically, that's what he was saying. Because he's the nice guy, right? People, I guess, just run over him, or he don't get the same advantages as dudes that'll be out here dogging ass out. Or whatever, right? And then I also feel like, well, them other guys probably come with a different level of confidence that you don't come with. You got to work on that or whatever. So, anywho, he says at the end of the night that he's still stuck on her one night stands, basically saying that, dang, I'm trying to hit and I'm finna be your husband. You finna be my wife. But it's guys you don't even much know that you sat up here and let hit a one night stand. Like, really? That's what he said. So that's what really got him so upset. Like, dang. And it sounds to me like even if we don't get married, like at least I would have at least hit to see if this what I want to do. Right? So that's what's going on. But I didn't know she had one night stands. They never really showed us that. They only talked about her saying how she's made people wait like weeks, months, years at a time before she ever embarked on sex with them. But then when he called her out about the one night stand, she's like, that was like a year or so ago. I'm like, so when did you have niggas waiting? But anyway, girl, do what you do, okay? That's your cootie twat. If you want to give it to him, you can give it to him. If you don't, you don't got to. And he would have to deal and live with that. Honestly, I would keep mine locked up. But that's just me. I would keep it locked up, honey, to the very end, especially when I know that I'm not going to tell him yes. Okay? But y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below on everything we just talked about with Love is Blind. I'm JamiThatsMe. Okay? Like up the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can